What up, everybody? I'm super psyched. It's your friend Isaac, and today I get one of my favorite upgrades that I've been looking forward to for my new PK Ripper. It's the purple anodized Night Bike Company Ruf Neck stem. So this thing came about kind of super random. Craig got one for his Maniac Flyer, and I thought, dude, that is so sick. Problem was, I'm going with a purple theme on my bike, so I just didn't expect. I thought I'd have to go something like profile or something like that for a stem. And if you watched any of these reviews, you know that I'm stupid obsessed with Night Bike Company's Ruf Neck stem because it looks like my old school stem that I used to have when I was a kid, the Tough Neck. And I didn't even think that they made purple. I thought they just made the standard ones I've always seen: silver, black, gold, red, blue, just the standard anodized colors. Well, I hit up Night and I'm just like, man, if you ever have a purple one, and they happen to have a sample that was purple. So snatched it up, and that is what I'm gonna run on my bike, probably indefinitely, because I love the way these stems look. I love that it reminds me of my 80s bike when I was growing up. And that's what I'm going for personally. I like to look at my bike and feel like, it's a little bit of escapism, ride some wheelies, and it just looks the same as it did when I was a little kid. So that's what I'm going for with this bike. I'm gonna unbox it, and then I'm gonna go put it on my bike and ride around a little bit. I don't know if I can film. I'm self-filming today, like always, but I think it's like 111 outside, so it's super hot. So I don't know if I'm gonna get any film of me riding the bike, because I just want to get out and ride it, and the camera overheats so quick when it's this hot outside. So I may just get the install and show you what it looks like on the bike, but we'll see how that goes. But anyway, enjoy this unboxing, enjoy this install. This is the way I choose to install stems. I'm sure there's gonna be all kinds of bike mechanics that tell me this is not the way that they do it, or there's something different. That's cool. You do it how you wanna do it. I explain it the way I do it on my bikes. I've never had a stem fall off. I've never had any problems with it. It works for me. So enjoy this. You can watch me install the stem, but always with all your bike parts. I don't work at a bike shop. I just have been around bikes for a long time. Have your local bike shop install this stuff if you don't know how to do it, or you're not comfortable or confident in your skills. That's always with every single one of these. So enjoy this, and we'll talk to you in a few. All right, so let's take a look here. I just got this in the mail. Pretty psyched to see what this looks like. Night Bike Company is probably one of my favorite brands because of the retroness of it. Now, these used to have, the original said Tough Neck and had a Bulldog. Night Bike Company out of Northern California has Ruf Neck, and if you look real close at that Bulldog, that's the Bulldog Logo. Vander. So instantly I was super stoked on this. And this is going on my PK Ripper. And if you notice, they come in black, blue, gold, red, silver, other. So this is a prototype that they had, and I got lucky because of the color scheme that my PK Ripper I'm going with. This is a stem I'm going to be running kind of indefinitely. Boom. On my PK Ripper. There's not another stem out there that I would want more than this stem, just because this is the same stem that I grew up with. I'm gonna actually zoom in on a picture here shortly of the stem that I rode on my Haro Master when I was 12, was a Tough Neck. And so this here is the same thing. Now, there you go, you got that tough, or the Ruf Neck emblazoned on there. You've got the Bulldog, you've got the round edges, CNC machined. The anodizing is actually really impressive as far as purple goes. Purple's a hard color to get. Most of the time you'll get a super deep purple because it's just a hard color to actually do. But this is more of a lighter kind of a grapey pink versus a more violet pink. I'm impressed, man. Great job, George. So the bottom looks like that. I believe the new ones actually have, these are actually filled in, they're not drilled all the way through. So you can actually run your neck upside down if you want to on the newer models. But this was an older one that he had purple, and this is the one that I wanted. So yours may actually have these holes filled in. Anyway, here you go. This is what it looks like. And I'm gonna go and slap this on the new PK Ripper. Super psyched to see that and see how it looks. All right, so if you've never done this before, taking a stem off, it's actually pretty easy. There's two things you need to do. This just has a little plastic dust cap in the middle, but to remove a stem, you need to remove the center bolt and then undo both of these. Now the first part, we're gonna take the bars off. So you remove these 4 bolts here. I'm in the habit of always removing them in like a cross pattern. I don't know if you have to remove it that way, if that's if there's anything that happens if you don't do it that way, but I was always taught that. You tighten them in a cross pattern, and you basically zigzag remove them as well. So I'm not sure if that's the most accurate, but there's no harm that's going to happen if you do it that way. So and I just got off work and I'm so anxious to do this. I'm doing this outside, and you can see I'm just removing these. This is just a regular park tool in the 6mm Allen key, but I was so anxious to get this done because I'm psyched to see this on here that I'm doing this during 5 o'clock rush hour traffic. So trying to get this loosened up just enough that I can move the bars down, because the position they're in right now, the stem, the crossbar makes it hard. So if I can just break this free, there we go. I can actually get in here and pull these bolts out. I don't know if you could hear that splash. That was my kids just now making a big splash in the backyard. These are all loose enough. That should. There we go. Now I'm just holding on to the bars so they don't fly forward when these do get loose enough to pop out. There we go. So I'm just going to hang these, let them rest on my tire. Set that aside. There's really nothing wrong with this SE stem at all. In fact, I really like the stem. I just like the look of the tough neck more, and I like the color more. So all right, so I'm removing that center cap because I'm probably going to use this again. It fits on the new one, we'll see. Loosen that side. Loosen this side. This pops right up. Now I'm going to pay attention to this and see how high the stem goes. That's actually perfect. If you look down in there, I have just a little bit of a lip, which is going to be fine. Now, I'm going to get everything kind of finger tight here, because I don't want to get anything too tight on the stem itself, because I want to make sure that the bars are on it, everything's straight, because this is what holds your free wheel tight, because there's not, like back in the day, this was threaded, you would thread that down, but nowadays this actually keeps your headset tight. So I want to get everything ready before I start tightening everything down. Turn this around so my bars, if you didn't see what was going on, my cables were twisted, so pay attention to your cable management and you'll get that right. Now the knurling on the Broke Boys bars has you can see this right there and there, helps me dial in where center is. And then this is where you really got to pay attention to how you're tightening. Making sure that you're getting even disbursement on both bolts. All right. So what did I do when I'm doing this here is I want to make sure that I have the same amount of distance here in the front and in the back, so you have equal pull and press down. So I want to make sure I have the same amount of play or distance in the front and the back. So I'm going to start adjusting things, making sure things are tight. I'm going to start with the center cap. Now I'm just testing. Is it turn free? Is it making any weird noises? It's good. So that's good and tight. I'm going to tighten up the 2 pinch bolts on the left and the right side so I get even pull there. And now I'm just adjusting the bars so they are centered because they did move a bit. All right, so now I'm going to sit back on the bike. Feels about where I like them. I'm just checking to see if the spacing here has changed. Now you're going to see me go in a pattern. So bottom right, top left, bottom left, top right. And here's the trick, friends. You don't really have to tighten this insanely tight. Your bike, the engineering on these is really good. So odds are you're gonna be just fine. So last thing I'm gonna do, grab this. Last thing to do is drop the little dust catcher over the Allen bolt there. And there you have it. So, just kind of feeling real quick. Grab the brakes. And what I'm doing is I'm rocking forward and backwards to see if there's any play in my headset, because you'll feel it up here. You'll feel it right in here if you didn't get that tight enough. But that is good and tight. So cinching this down compresses your entire headset through the fork, and that's what keeps this tight. Back in the day, you used to have to get a wrench and tighten it. But in fact, even if you look now, it looks like there's a wrench bolt here. That's just a spacer. It's just for show. It's a spacer that looks like the old school threaded nut and stem. So there we go. So here's the big look. Got the purple, and then up front of the bike. Really like how that looks. And this whole process, from when I started recording, it's 15 minutes and 30 seconds. So it doesn't take long to do this. Just take your time, have fun with it. Make sure you do it right the first time. So, all right, y'all.